From his desk in Moscow, President Vladimir Putin tonight further divided Ukraine by carving off a piece for two of his allies. He recognized the independence of Donetsk and Luhansk, two Russian-speaking enclaves which have been ruled by pro-Russian forces for 8 years. Russia already has several thousand troops there. Ukraine is not just a neighbor, Putin said. It is an integral part of our history, culture, and spiritual space. The leaders of the two breakaway enclaves later appeared, socially distanced, at desks next to him. Putin saying they'd asked him to intervene and that Russia could not sit back and watch what he called a genocide by the Ukrainian government against the regions. Putin now ordering more Russian troops to go into those areas as peacekeepers and delivering this warning to the Ukrainian government. Stop combat activity, he said. Otherwise, the responsibility for continuing the bloodshed will lay on the shoulders of the Ukrainian regime. The Ukrainian government has not been carrying out a genocide, but wars can be launched by lies. Russia today claimed Ukraine has begun directly attacking Russian territory. It offered no proof except for what looked like a shack Russia says was targeted by Ukrainian forces. In the trenches over the past 48 hours, we have seen absolutely no evidence that Ukrainian troops are in the midst of an offensive against Russia or are preparing for one. Instead, commanders say they have been under fire from Russian-backed separatists and acknowledge that they do fire back at them.
I can't help but I get the feeling, just being here, talking with you, listening to the incoming rounds, that these are historic moments, that we could be at a turning point. Does it feel that way to you?
Yes, I agree, the commander said. This is a historic moment and maybe a breaking point.
Putin tonight took a middle ground. He didn't declare war on Ukraine, as some here feared. Instead, he recognized an area Russia already controls, which is far less than Russia is capable of doing. But was this just Putin's first bite? Lester?
Richard Engel in Ukraine tonight, thanks. And as we mentioned, Putin is sending what he calls peacekeeping forces into those two breakaway regions in Ukraine. Our Courtney Kuby is at the Pentagon tonight. Courtney, what do we know about these troops?
Well, President Putin signed this order for these so-called Russian peacekeeping troops, but it's still not clear when or whether they would actually deploy into eastern Ukraine. Remember, Lester, there are already thousands of Russian troops in these two breakaway regions. The key right now is whether the U.S. and allies would see these new troops as an invasion. Tonight, a senior administration official, when asked that question repeatedly, would not answer. Lester?
Courtney Kuby, thank you. And President Biden responding to Putin's latest escalation with an executive order targeting those two separatist regions in Ukraine. Peter Alexander is at the White House. And Peter, the White House is already responding with sanctions tonight.
Yeah, Lester, that's right. The White House says that President Biden will slap limited economic sanctions on those two separatist regions for now, with additional steps targeting Russia coming tomorrow. So far, the U.S., the UN, and others are blasting Russia's move as a violation of international law. And today we saw the president's top national security advisors arriving here, where the president spoke by phone with Ukraine's president and European allies. All of this comes just hours after the White House had said that President Biden would be willing to meet with Putin in principle if Russia has not invaded. But tonight, an official says an invasion still appears imminent. Lester?
Peter, President Biden has said he believes Putin will invade. Now the U.S. is going further, talking about who Russia might target.
Yeah, the Biden administration alerted the United Nations that Russia will target dissidents, journalists, and other vulnerable populations to be killed or tortured or sent to camps. A Kremlin spokesperson called those allegations a lie.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.